This is our biggest Musicman Shootout yet. We're going to compare 4 of the most popular models in today's video. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley. I've been playing guitar for 10 years, 5 of those professionally, and in today's video we're going to be shooting out the 4 most popular Musicman models in their lineup. So the first chapter will be the Axis, the second will be the Luke, the third will be the Sabre, and the fourth will be the JP15, and then there'll be a tone comparison at the end, and then my final thoughts. So feel free to skip through this video if you don't want to hear the talking, or if you want to skip to a certain guitar. So let's get started with the Axis. Okay, so let's talk about the specs on the Musicman Axis to start with. So this is obviously a gorgeous looking guitar in a lovely satin finish. Let's talk about the construction first. We have a basswood body with a quilt maple top, which is finished in this beautiful charcoal burst. We have the Musicman double locking tremolo, which is very Floyd Rose-like, and we have one volume with cream knob, and that's just a volume, no tone on this guitar. For pickups, we have 2 custom Damasio's, 2 humbuckers. The neck and fretboard of roasted flame maple, which has a really nice profile on it. It's nice and rounded, feels a little bit like a thick strap. This guitar is set up with 9-gauge string with a lovely low action, so it's nice and easy to play. So let's hear it in the tone demo. So let's talk about the Luke model now. This is the signature model from artist Steve Lukather from the band Toto. Probably their biggest hits are Rosanna and Africa. You've definitely heard of them. Lukather is a great session guitar player as well as obviously a band player. He also contributed to Beat It. He actually orchestrated that riff, and Eddie Van Halen did the solo. Let's talk about the construction to begin with. The body is made up of Ukumer, which is the same as the John Petrucci models. It has the same tonal characteristics as mahogany, but it's far lighter, so it makes it a great choice for Musicman when they're making these sporty kind of lightweight guitars. We have a flamed maple top on here, and then we have a roasted maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard on top. This guitar had very little finish on the neck. I would want a little bit more finish, even if it's a satin finish. It was very unfinished, which is all well and good now when you get the guitar, but I feel like it wouldn't age the best personally. Pearloid tips on the Charlotte tuners, and we have the Musicman floating bridge. This guitar has a 5-way position switch, so you can get positions 2 and 4 with them kind of out of phase stratty tones, and we also have an active preamp on board this guitar to push the amp. I found this really useful when playing the clean tones, that it was almost like a compressor in a way, just boosting the amp a little bit, kind of leveled out the frequencies and allowed easier playing. So moving on to the JP15, we have recently done a video of all of John Petrucci's signature models. You can click this little icon here to take you to that video if you'd like a bit more of an in-depth review. But the JP15 basically has similar construction to the Lucifer. You have an Akume body, again that kind of lightweight mahogany-like wood. Flamed maple top, in this case we have the beautiful blue finish. We then have a roasted maple neck, which has a really nice profile on it. It's quite thin, but has a lot in the hand wideways, so it kind of counteracts that. We have pearloid Charlotte tuners again, and the Musicman tremolo. This guitar has a piezo, so it has the Fishman Power Bridge saddles incorporated into the tremolo, so you can get piezo sounds. And then for pickups, we have DiMarzio illuminators. You also have an adjustable active boost, which is controlled by the first volume knob. You push that in to activate, push it down to deactivate, and then you have a switch that changes the parallel or series configuration of the neck and bridge pickup, and that is on the second switch. For the last guitar today, we're going to talk about the specs of the Sabre. So first of all, this comes in a lovely snowy night finish, which has some really nice glitter around the top. Main construction of this guitar, again, is a Akume body, flamed maple top, which is actually roasted on the binding. I don't know if the top is actually roasted, I'd imagine it is. And we have a roasted maple fretboard and neck, but the neck is finished in the snowy night finish. We have Charlotte tuners and a Musicman tremolo, and then we also have the same active preamp boost as we did in the Lucifer and the JP. We have a 5-way switch on this, so you can get humbucking tones in positions 1, 3, and 5, and then you get the out of phase kind of single coily ones in 2 and 4. And this has the Musicman HT humbuckers. So let's hear it in action. So it's time for me to talk about my final thoughts on which guitar was my favourite. Personally, the winner for me was the Axis. It's a model that really speaks to me as it's a very simple product, and it also looks very similar to the Wolfgang Van Halen guitar that I love and adore. I found that the switching system's a lot easier for me to kind of comprehend. Obviously, being more of a Gibson player, I'm not used to a lot of fancy electronics like an active preamp or piezo. So just the one volume with that doing nothing and a nice Floyd Rose is more than enough for me. And I really liked the sculpted neck with the roasted maple. It also had quite a nice thick pronounced profile, which was a little bit more like I'm used to. An awesome guitar all round. Coming in second would be the Luke. I thought this guitar sounded amazing. I did think the neck felt a little bit cheaper. The kind of satin finish on it was very, very thin, and it felt like a bit like unfinished wood in all honesty. But I really like the burst on this one, and I really like the capabilities of the preamp in it and the single coily tones you can get on the positions 2 and 4. The third would then be the JP15. I've done a few videos on this in the past. The reason why this guitar sits at 3 is mainly because the magnetic pickups I think are quite dark sounding, and I prefer a brighter pickup that's going to cut through a bit more. Obviously, these guitars are made for John Petrucci, who plays metal, so I understand why they're kind of pronounced more bass end and lower mid-range. What brings the saving grace of this guitar is the piezo system. It's probably the best piezo system I've ever heard on a guitar. It's very organic sounding, and I love how you can mix it with the magnetic pickups. It almost makes sense why the magnetic pickups are so dark, because they really contrast nicely with piezo and create a very full, rounded frequency sound. I really like the way this guitar looks. I love the snow finish and I love the roasted maple, but I just think this guitar lacks a little bit of identity of what it wants to be. Me personally, it looks a bit like a Strat, but then it kind of sounds a little bit like a PRS. I think they need to put single coils in it. I know they do a Cutlass, which I haven't tried yet, which obviously is more single coily. I think I would be more gravitating towards that. I think the Sabre needs single coils, or maybe P90s. I don't think it works very well with humbuckers, in my opinion. The neck was beautiful though, very nicely shaped, and I really liked how the neck was actually glossed. It was very comfortable, not sticky at all, and the pickups did sound good, but I preferred the out phase tones. I didn't think the humbucking tones had much to speak for. I think that's my only criticism with Musicman guitars. I do think the humbuckers they use are very dark sounding, but their clean tones are so good, and their guitars are always set up to the best that you can get. All the intonation's perfect, strings feel good, and nice action. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to give this video a like so more people can see it, and comment down below. At 2,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a guitar completely for free. All you need to do to enter is subscribe down below and turn on the bell icon to be notified when we make a new post. But thank you so much for watching today's video, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking, see you soon.